Good evening and welcome to Odessa the Dark Crusade. And to the slightly battered and once more weathered Omar's shop that is, again, well, it's not as bad as last time, but it's still a little worse for wear. There's a hole in the floor and there's a window that's been boarded up, it seems. There is also something covering the hole, but still, repairs are needed, but it seems to be relatively. There's obviously someone who has cleaned some things off the floor and, a little bit of here and there, but other than that, it's the same as it's always been. Two figures approach together. They seem to be just keeping an eye out for guards and just switching in and out between the alleys and making their way. And they are. They enter the establishment. Not really any customers this time of night with the curfew in effect, but Madeline will just walk in and just walk upstairs and see if there's anyone. Well, actually, she will just have a look around to see the remains of what happened here not too long ago.
I'm happy for Nelson to go next because I need to go and get a drink.
Wait, I'm just checking stuff for her feeding. The feeding rolls difficulties are back to normal, right?
Nope.
They're different.
Difficulty 10.
Dip 10 because there's guards everywhere.
Oh shit! And it's diff 10 everywhere.
Yes.
Yep.
Fuck. Ah well,
Curfew is a bitch.
Well, okay. I won't roll. She's got enough blood. But yes, Margot will make her way, also avoiding the guards, and she'll see the place, which has. Well, she would completely expecting it to look this way, and say she'll make her way in, avoiding the few little pieces of wood and stuff that are still on the floor. Somehow, still doing it very elegantly. And as she meets the two people she knows, she'll smile. A pleasure it is. Both again.
Margot, it has been some time.
It has. I took some rest after the incidents at the sewers, and then I had personal business to attend to, but I am back now.
Good. Thorvald's sort of in the background. He steps forward when he sees Margot. He's wearing sort of his black armor. It's like I suppose what you could say it's kind of like centurion armor or Romanesque. And it's got these black wolf's heads on the breastplate. It's not something he didn't have it last time you saw him. His hands are gloved. He approaches Margot and he doesn't kneel, but he just sort of bow to her.
Thorvald. A pleasure it is to see you again.
And you, my lady.
And she'll look around. So, what happened this time?
It would appear that our newest sheriff, Gerard, has overstepped his authority, taken authority that he perhaps never had.
What happened here? What has he done?
For the record, does anyone have aspects above 2?
Pretty sure she does. Let me check.
I don't want to actually say what my level of obfuscate is. Sneaky settings.
Auspex, yes, I have 3. I have 3.
Okay. If they equal, you get to make the roll to see somebody, don't they? It's been a while since I've had to do this. If Auspex and Obfuscate equal each other, then it's a roll off to see if you can see them, isn't it?
Yes, it
I
is.
believe.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perception, awareness versus wit stealth, I think. I think. I'm not 100% on that.
I'm happy. Both of the pools that I would think would be applicable are the same. So shall we do that thing where roll off is a roll off?
What do I roll? Perception, awareness?
Perception awareness.
Three successes.
Curse you ones. All right, stepping through the door at that moment in time, you'll see an individual dressed in black from head to foot, wearing a hood over his head.
And I guess she can see that he's trying to sneak, or that he's.
He's not actually trying to sneak. He's walking very obviously, but you can tell that most people couldn't see him.
She'll turn her head towards the door where he's coming. No need to hide yourself.
Yes. At this point, the obfuscate will drop, and the two others will become aware of this individual's presence. It is, however, best when one is, how's the phrase, out and about these nights to make it so that one cannot be seen. Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum. I do not believe we've met before. And she'll extend a hand. I am Margot Cornier of Margot de Cornier of the Clan of the Roses.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. He will bow very deeply. He won't take the hand in his, but he will bow very deeply. 1,000 greetings upon the rose this evening. How beautiful it is, and yet how terrible the thorns.
And she'll smile. I do believe my thorns came out, but it was a while ago. Back, and she'll look back at the other tree. Back in the sewers, something, an experience I do not wish to repeat again.
I must apologize. I have interrupted your conversation. Please, continue.
Sorry, I missed a little bit of that. How did he enter? He entered Obfuscate.
He entered under Obfuscate. He dropped it as soon as he came through the door.
Has he introduced himself yet, or is he just?
He's been vaguely polite. People have introduced themselves to him. Nobody's asked him for his name yet.
All right. Thorwald, he in the background, he just sort of closes the shutters on the windows, takes the candle away from the window silhouette because there's quite a few people gathering now. He doesn't want to alert the watch.
Madeline has been looking at things on the floor. She gets up, stands up, turns. Good evening, Assalamu alaikum. I do not believe that the two of us have introduced or any of us. I am Sister Madeleine of Clan de Sombra. Might I have your name?
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, noble shadow.
He will once again bow very, very deeply.
My name is Sol Hadrin. Nahal Neldrona, a member of the true way of the Lord of the Storm.
I'm just gonna see. No, probably not. No, Madeline is just not interested. Ah, a friend of Gufram, I see.
I have not met young Mr. Gufron. I have no doubt that I will do, however.
There's a smile.
He is quite the illustrious person.
Please, I have interrupted your story. I must beg apologies.
You see Thorvald take a step closer between the two women. He cants his head slightly. It looks like almost like he sniffs the air. And then he lowers his head politely. Thorvald,
You?
neonative clan gangrel.
Ah, and you are their protector.
In a sense, I suppose.
I have the good honor of protecting all that walk the night as brothers and sisters.
That is a high and idealistic claim, one that I hope that is indeed true. For when uncertainty lingers in the streets, are we but far from the chaos that will consume all?
Thorvald thinks, great, another fucking cunt who talks in riddles.
Have you met every Setite ever?
He doesn't say anything, he just nods.
The stranger will settle himself down. If there is I'm going to take a liberty and say there's probably a shisha pipe that he will light and begin to smoke. You'll see him allowing the smoke to be exhaled through his nostrils.
Please, as I said, I have interrupted your conversation. By all means, continue.
As I was saying, Margot, Gerard put a member of Clan Puja to final death. As far as I understand,
Do we know why?
he was in the grips of frenzy.
And he
As
had
you know, that is not a capital offense. Which is why I am somewhat concerned that you would do this, and honestly, I am interested in seeing what exactly will be the consequences.
it does seem like a lot of damage was done as you look around when a simple stake could have worked.
I was not here. I have only heard the short version. But yes, although it is nothing compared to when we were last here.
I shall smile.
I had to rebuild the place. As far as I remember, it was the roof. Most of these, yes, it was. And then she points to the newcomer. She points over to the wall, and when you look at it, you can see that there is actually a good portion of this room, not just a hole, but a good portion of this room that probably has been made, like rebuilt. But it's only when it's pointed out, like you can see the difference in paint and stuff. And the damage she's pointing at is as though there probably was much less house left when whatever happened.
The individual will nod before continuing to smoke the shisha pipe.
But at least with none of us had the inclination to bring final death. It was a problem, sure, but not into this sense. I do not know exactly what happened, but perhaps it will come up. But a thing like this, it was not just some runt, it was a high-standing Ancilla.
How unfortunate that this happened.
Unfortunate. Yes.
So, it is once again that Rome shall strike down Carthage.
He'll say with a smile.
This gets a look from Thorvald. Not like an aggressive look or a direct look. It's just kind of like a raised eyebrow.
Well, I do not believe that all Brugia hail from Carthage, or that they would hold to such lineage at this time.
It is still a brother who has been removed, stricken by the old enemy. One way or another, it is still a piece removed from the chessboard by those whom once called checkmate upon you. He'll shrug.
And, sorry, you see, what did the newcomer say was his name?
Solhadrin, or Solvrin for short.
Sovereign. How long have you been in Edessa? Are you a newcomer?
In Edessa, some 10 years or more. But I tend to keep to my holdings. My enterprises. I don't generally care for the company of others. However, this evening I wish to stretch my legs and see a city reborn under a crimson harvest moon.
And if I may be so bold to ask, what exactly made you come out?
He pondered. Even now, some army clashes above my home. It's very difficult to sleep when it is that they roar and ruckus, when arms clash and teeth gnash.
Well, to some, that's the sound for slumber.
I don't know who has decided to take upon their shoulders to drive my compatriots and I from Riverside. However, I'm disconcerted in the action that has been taken.
There's another shrug as he takes another deep drag of the hookah, letting the smoke furl out through his nostrils.
However, someone has. And now it is we must dance a merry dance. However, this evening I wish to be away, to walk the streets and to see the moon. And then I decided to come here, as I do remember it was that we used to congregate. But so changes time, I suppose.
It's a little bit difficult to congregate at the moment.
Yes. Yes, I would quite agree. He kind of quirks an eyebrow and is like, perhaps you may tell me something. I would consider it most beneficial, as I am ignorant in this. Who instituted the curfew?
From what I hear on the street, there was a vote. Nobles.
I see. Disc.
An effort to keep the crime rate down. We've had the plague and all sorts of other stuff. And as you can see, as these things do, they didn't work. Riverside's worse than ever, I hear.
That depends on how you deem worse or better.
Chaotic.
There's chaos, because it is that as yet the gangs have left to fall behind a single individual. It will happen eventually. And the actions that have been taken will merely drive them into the arms of the powerful. In fact, I should thank the individual who's responsible for sending the troops into Riverside. They've sped up my plans by a decade.
Thorwald smiles at that. A bit of a twinkly smile, and there's a bit of a twinkle in his eyes.
Has something gotten your attention, my dear Thorvald?
No. Just enjoying company.
A faint glint of amusement will flick over the man's face. As it does so, you'll see his tongue flick out, a very snake-like tongue, almost as if he's tasting the air.
But, yes. As I said, soon Riverside will be under control, but not in the way that those people intended it to be.
Controls are pretty much an illusion. There's only one power, and that is our prince.
But you said there's only one power, and that is what?
Our prince.
On that point, Master Torvald, I'm afraid we must disagree. There is a much higher power than any.
Thorvald sort of inclines his head to Madeline. It seems to be a subconscious thing.
I am certain that say that Prince is not the rightful ruler of this city.
Did you just say the prince isn't the rightful ruler of the city?
Someone's echoing really badly.
Ooh, might be.
She asked. What she asked was, I'm sure you're not saying that the prince isn't the right ruler of the city.
Of course I'm not saying that. I'm saying, however, that in the end, all princes must bow to gods.
Thorvald tries not. Thorvald doesn't scoff actually, but he does. Furrow his brow slightly.
Madeline just doesn't answer to that. She just looks at him. It's kind of just gives a. She doesn't actually react to it. She just kind of just does a single drop of her head, like a nod, slowly, and just says, I suppose that is unavoidable.
I find there's quite a big difference between duty and faith. A man's heart and a man's duty to his people. In an ideal world, they would be the same thing. But my foremost duty in this life is to serve our prince. And, of course, the structure by which we live, lest we be plunged into chaos.
He kind of tips his head to the side, and he'll say, "Service to a prince is noble. It is dedication to one's chivalry, or whatever code one deems it to be. However, service to the beyond, service to that which is, service to that which is beyond us, grants clarity."
With that, I very much agree. The only question is, how can one be certain that one have found clarity and not simply confused oneself even more? A question for the ages, I suppose.
Questions that are often sought the answers to can be found for those who look in the most unlikely of places. No question is inherently unanswerable. One just needs to know where to find the answer.
I'm lucky enough to say I have all my questions answered. Thorwald says, sitting down, putting his pipe in his mouth.
Madeline just looks at Torvald and smiles.
My heart and my mind and my honor run along the same track.
And he'll say, and when it is, if it is, that your heart, your eyes, and your mind cease, what then?
What then? Then they cease.
Margot will smile when she says that.
I live in the faith that I shall go on to Anshur Uwalt, and forever continue my path. This is my certainty. Perhaps to you it is faith. He'll shrug. Faith to one and certainty to others. Anything is possible.
Rolls willpower not to go into the only true god is between a woman's legs speech from Game of Thrones. Torvald just nods. He doesn't seem to be all that convinced or bothered. He's not going to be impolite about it. He's been warned enough about being impolite.
I believe that life, or rather unlife in our case, is not about finding answers. I believe it is about seeking mysteries. And I believe that even if there is a God out there, or up there, as she'll look up, if he has given us what we have, it is for us to make the most of it, in whichever way each chooses, as long as we do not stop others long as we do not willfully harm others and stop them in their path.
So, when it is you draw the blood from someone, when it is you sap their life essence to sate your hunger, do you not harm them?
Take the ones who are close to me and myself, as do my opponents, as does everyone, I believe. There is this thing about this card that people believe in. When people are out in wars, both sides believe that God is on their side. Who are we to know which side he really is on, or even if he even cares what happens to one of us? Are we not both all his children? Why would he care about more? Why would he care more about some of us than others?
Well, he certainly seems to have blessed you.
In looks, in history, well, I guess he's done enough for me to be alive by this day, but
Thorvald tries to diffuse an awkward conversation with a compliment because he finds talking about God futile.
I'm gonna have to roll something. What the fuck do I roll for this?
What you rolling, Peter?
Madeline is gonna stop her. Is she gonna? No, she's not gonna stop herself. She's gonna say it. Well, I do believe that you had found something quite different than God in these recent nights. But mysteries indeed is something you seem to have found in quite a large supply, dear Margot.
I shall smile.
I'm pretty sure people are still going to be sitting around in circles talking about God in 500 years, 600 years, 1,000 years, and will anyone ever really know the answer? The answer is probably no. And if anyone does really know the answer, then they're not telling the secrets.
That is because, Master Torvald, sometimes secrets are worth more kept than they are ever worth spoken.
Well, that I can drink to. If I had a drink.
The next time you find yourself with a thirst, you will contemplate for a few moments. I am master of the brothel known as the Silken Promise on the outskirts of the Merchants' Quarter. You must come and be our guest.
Oh, really?
It was a single slight head nod.
I'll consider it, yeah.
I find that wine and experience bring you closer to if there is a divinity.
I think the closest thing you can get to divinity in this humble lifetime is, well, pure beauty. I've been blessed enough to experience it in several forms. From my humble origins.
Of this, I have no doubt.
Tell me, Margot, you said you have been keeping to yourself. I'm wondering, have you seen much of my Primogen?
I have not. Is there... Well, should I be keeping an eye out?
No, I was merely curious. He is seneschal once more, if you did not already know.
I did not. I do now, thank you.
I'm assuming that if you have returned to Ormore to grace us all with your presence, I do think that he would very much enjoy a visit.
Perhaps I will see him then.
I have always found him. And she will look to the Setite, much like your Primogen, a very, very welcoming and helpful individual. Have you met with
Indeed.
her yet?
Of course.
Hmm.
May she forever continue to walk the path that has been set for her.
Quite so. It seems odd these nights we come here and then to mingle. No one should be on the streets, but yet here we are. I really hope that this will end soon.
This will
Indeed.
end. This will end as soon as pride and vanity allow it to end when these are burned away. It is simple.
Well, I certainly hope not. I do not have a millennia to wait for that to happen.
We shall but see what it is that is laid before us on the path that we each must tread. But yes, we shall see what we shall see, and in the end, we shall see whose tune it is we dance to, and if the melody is sweet, we shall continue to jig.
Jig, jig, jig. Thor dances his foot up and down, ironically.
Saldren will stand at this point and he will bow deeply to the room and he'll say, I shall take my leave. I have scented what I needed to see, and I have seen what I have needed to scent. And so it is that my path takes me elsewhere. I hope that your paths lead you to whatever reward you feel is befitting you. Salam Adeth Salah Samana.
A very good evening to you.
He will turn on his heel and leave via the door. Obfuscate when he cannot be seen.
It'd be funny if he left via the window. Or the hole in the floor. Goodbye.
The Irene exit.
Do the
Jump out the window.
in the middle of Omar's shop.
He uses office gate. Bed falls down the stairs.
And you sit tight. Well, new-ish, I suppose.
Well, new to the world outside. Apparently he's been here for a while. Although I guess 10 years is still new to our kind.
Quite so.
Keep in mind he said he was new to Edessa, so depends what you mean by new setite. And depends what the truth is.
That's
He
always
could-
one of those things. You never really know what with a setup, whether they're telling the truth or not. Yeah.
I must say I liked him. He had a bit of a flair for the theatrical, in my opinion. Seemed to play up the slipperiness of himself.
Certainly seems interesting. I shall look forward to him again.
Well, Margot, with you around again, I doubt we will have quiet nights. And one thing is definitely certain. Things will be very interesting with you around.
She'll smile.
You're quite sure she probably didn't mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, she knows. she figured that out. Still made her smile.
Lest there be any doubt. But she just smiles her best, and she just says, "Well, maybe the two of you would like to chat. Everything here seems to be somewhat in order."
I have some time to spend with in beautiful company before I attend my business this evening. And I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you've been up to, Margot. So I think we can chat for a while.
Please, feel free, the two of you. I have a small errand to run, but I will see you at home.
He takes Madeline's hand and kisses it. I'll see you at the usual time, my love.
See you then. And Madeline will leave.
Thor's going to spend his time. Yeah, Thor's just going to chat to Margot for a bit.
Yes.
In that case, thank you, Clay, for playing. Sorry, I've just been told I promised to do a scene for a player in another game, so I'm kind of like, oh shit. Thank you, Clay, for playing. Thank you much for watching. This has been another scene in Odessa, The Crusade, Season 2, something words.